Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Don Jo. This is their part number TLP110. 630 is the part number. This is a latch guard is what it is. Latch guards are very common pieces of equipment that you're going to find generally on exterior doors, occasionally on interior doors, though uncommon. Overall length, it's 10-inch basically. Just shy on that, 9 15/16. Overall width of the item, about 1 5/8 inches. This is a peel-away protective film that you have on here covering the 630. That means two things. It means three things, actually. The first thing it means it's the most durable of all finishes. It's classified as a natural finish. It's the most durable of all natural finishes, natural and artificial. Natural finishes are more durable than artificial. Something plated would be artificial or painted. Natural is just the base material and then finished somehow. This is brushed. 630 means two things, made of stainless and brushed. So it's the most durable of all finishes. And that's what that is. You can see evidence of it back here. The material thickness, they have it as, now the template, well, if we have a template, probably 10 gauge would be my guess. The caliper tells me 0.108 thick, so 5/64 maybe? No, that's not right. 9/64? 0.108. Let's put it in terms of a fraction. Maybe 7/64. Yeah, 7/64. That would be accurate. So there you go. Now, where would you use this item? Let's talk about that right now. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Latch guards are used on doors that generally swing out, although sometimes they're used on doors that swing in. But they're installed on the secured side of the door, the side with the key, the side that you want to protect entry against, and is used basically to cover that vulnerable area where you might use a tool, someone might use a tool or a means of bypass. A piece of equipment like this is what I'm trying to say is a latch guard is meant to cover that vulnerable area between the latch bolt where it leaves the edge of the door and engages the strike in the frame. And it does so by basically just covering that area is what this is for. This has a recessed area back here that will accept the lip of the strike. The strike lip's going to hang off the frame ever so slightly. Well, this is meant to, when the door goes into the closed position, it's meant to tolerate that strike projecting proud off the face of the frame, and it's meant to just cover that. And I really like small, petite, relatively petite latch protectors or latch guards like this because they are reasonably effective. They will serve to keep honest people honest, and they don't detract too terribly much from the overall look of the door. A great application for this is the back of a strip mall, and there is always an access alley or road behind the strip mall. There could be 4 units, there could be 34 units. Well, that access road, dimly lit at night, there may be cameras, there probably won't be, but there could be. It affords someone time to be able to stand at the opening and work on the door to bypass it. And adding a latch protector like this will just serve to prevent that from being completely low-hanging fruit is what I'm driving at, because it covers the seam between the gap between the edge of the door and the jamb, covers that latch bolt area where you can't really get to it with an easy tool. That's where this is used. This is a type of latch protector that's going to be bolted through the door. It includes a couple of typical carriage bolts. These are also stainless steel. On the outside it'll look like that, one here and one here. On the inside it will have this, I think what they call an EBF, and this is basically a sex bolt installation, but the EBF, it's just a term used for a very trim head here, and I'll show you why having that trim head is important. This would be intended for an 1 3/4 thick door, so that would be the length. If you needed to do a thicker door or perhaps a thinner door, you're just going to need to come up with a longer or smaller, shorter carriage bolt. That's 5/16, I believe. Actually, we don't need to leave that guesswork. Let's put the caliper on it. It's definitely 5/16. So that'd be 5/16, 18 carriage bolt is what you would need. You may or may not elect. It's unusual that you're going to have a door other than 1 3/4, but if you did, just change this part out. And Don Jo does not offer that material for that. In terms of installing it, I don't know if we'll have too much guidance from the manufacturer. Yeah, okay, that's very good. What I would suggest that you do is you're going to install the unit, and it has this offset here, and you're going to install that just so that the offset area here is going to wrap over to the face of the frame. The reason it's offset is in typical hollow metal applications, all the time, when that door goes to close, if this part of my hand is the rabbet of the frame, the door will be inset inside of the frame ever so slightly, so there's a small amount of there's a dimension from the face of the frame to the face of the door. It's quite small, maybe 3/32 of an inch. It's very small. Well, this offset has to be there to account for that. Otherwise, if the door and frame were flush with each other, like you would see in an aluminum storefront, generally, but not always, this would, while it would work, this would stand proud from the face of the frame and not give you as much protection as otherwise. But so that offset is typical for hollow metal. That's why that's bent like that. Because again, the door's inset ever so slightly. You're going to get that fit onto the door or placed in such a position that you know the door will close, centering it over your latch bolt, or however that is in terms of whether it be a mortise lock or a cylindrical lock or a tubular lock or even a deadbolt, I suppose, a slam latch. That recessed area is about 4 inch tall. Also measuring it, the amount that's going to overlap onto the door, I would say it's going to be about 1/2 of an inch, right about here, all the way over to about 1 1/8 inch. That's where the offset occurs. So that point right at the tip of my finger is what will be overlapping the frame. About 1/2 of an inch as well. Right from that bend, right here. Okay. I would get that placed so that you know that it was spaced correctly so that the door could close, so that the offset was not prematurely set. You have to have a proper back set from the edge of the door. So I guess that's the term we're driving at, right? What's the back set? So I would say that the back set from the center of the hole to the edge of the door is going to be something right at about 3/4 inch, maybe 13/16. And that's important to know because you'll have that 13/16 area that the latch protector is going to reside in. So your hardware, your exit, well, it wouldn't be an exit, well, it could be an exit device trim if it was a mortise style, but your lock set, whatever latch you're protecting, can't encroach into that space at all, that 13/16. But it really won't, because you've got the stop on the other side of the door, and anything that will be mounted that close may go through the door, so nothing will be drawn that close. Let's switch to the screen view now, and let's take a closer look at some supporting information, and I'll quickly illustrate how to install it. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Alright, here's the item that we are looking at, the TLP 110. Thru Bolt, new Thru Bolt fastening method, narrow latch protector with Thru Bolt fastening, designed for outswing doors, works with most with exit device trim and mortise lock trims. Yeah, it'll work with those trims, but if it's an exit device, it would be a mortise exit device, not a rim exit device or a surface vertical rod, because you can't get to those latches anyway. Here's your size. Now there's a product catalog that's here. I would say that this is closer to being just simply a cut sheet, is what this is. And it does show different part numbers that are here, and the TLP 110 versus the 210, the only difference there is the base material. The 110 is made of stainless steel, the others are made of steel and are in a powder coat finish. Okay, let's turn off that. Now, we currently do not have a template associated with this because one isn't drawn, but I've requested one from the factory. So perhaps by the time you're seeing this video, there will be a template, technical drawing. We've kind of covered the basics, however. Now, speaking of the installation of this, a couple of things I want to show you, because there's not a lot of guidance from the manufacturer. So here's your frame. Here's your strike that's going to kind of be hanging out. Then, of course, you have your stop that's here, your 5/8 stop. Your door would come over like this, so I'm just going to get rid of the stop. Your door is going to be here. Okay? And you're going to place that latch protector so that it covers just like that, basically. You're going to have your bolt here. You'll have your bolt here. That dimpled or recessed area, that recessed area will look like that. That 13/16 is going to be from where you're going to start that installation, so that the offset, you know, the kind of offset that we're talking about here, is over the frame, and that's going to look like that's going to look like this. Your door, the dimension from the face of the frame, the door swings out this way. That's the inset. So that latch guard has to go like that if I was to exaggerate it to a certain extent. This drawing also helps us with the EBF portion. That carriage bolt's going to sit out here. That's going to run through the door. That's awful. I'm sorry. That should look a lot better than it does. That's our carriage bolt. The point I'm driving at is if you had a typical acorn head bolt, that the head of an acorn bolt would have to sit in here, and when the door closed, you would find that the door wouldn't close because that bolt's going to have to sit in here making contact with the face of the stop. That EBF bolt is designed to be very trim head and fit in there so that the thickness of the head will reside within the space between the face of the door and the face of the stop when the door is brought to the closed position. That's the point of that trim head. The reason they need that bolt on this latch guard is because it's such a narrow latch guard. A latch guard that was 2.5 inch where the bolts end up getting out here, not a problem. But that's why you have these trim head bolts, and it's going to need an Allen wrench to set. Not sure what size, you know, typical set of Allen wrenches and you're in good shape. So that's how the installation of that's going to go. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page as seen here. From here you can pull up not only all of the Don Jo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog and several other, and its subsections broken down individually as seen here. The latch protectors are here. I clicked on that a little fast. Latch protectors are right here. And it would be very worthwhile for you to review this. There's that EBF fastener described for you. It's available on other latch guards as well. This is an example of an in-swinging latch guard. Residential application, condo building, 90-unit condo building, sure, an in-swinging latch guard makes all the sense in the world. Absolutely. You should definitely have that. The principle of this in-swinging latch guard is it prevents the spreading of the frame so that you can easily push the door open. Many other variants and options are here depending on the door installation. I do like the TLP 110 because it is trim and narrow, is effective, doesn't, is not too obtrusive on the door, and is the least inelegant, I think, of latch guards to a certain extent. Different latch guards for different applications. If you're not sure of your application, reach out to us. We're happy to help you select and enter the order for the correct latch guard that best suits, or the latch guard that best suits your application. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, the name Don Jo is synonymous with latch guards, and if you know their name at all, it's probably 4 latch guards. You might also know their name for the door reinforcing wraparound plates. There is a catalog section called wraparound plates. It's the U-shaped reinforcers that you apply to the edge of a door, generally because there's damage on the door as an attempted break-in, or maybe an event has occurred that has damaged the door, and replacing the door is found to be impractical. And an example of something that would be impractical is when the door just costs so much money, for whatever reason, that you elect to put a U-shaped piece of architectural metal onto it. Examples of that would be, well, you could have a door from 1920, and you know what? To replace that door today may not be practical. It might be several hundreds of dollars, if not more. You might have the wherewithal to afford a new door, but you may not have the carpenter to do the work, and you're not able or interested or willing to do it yourself. So you might just put that U-shaped adapter on. Or you might be doing new construction, and you know that there's going to be an attempted break-in. You know that there will be vandalism, so you install them right from the get-go. I've had one customer who said, I know all these garage doors are going to have people trying to get into them, so let's just put these on right now. I need 12 of them. So that's pretty. That's not very common, but it occurs where people do it proactively rather than retroactively. Don Jo's a good quality company, good quality people over there. They mean well, they do no evil kind of stuff. Comprehensive offering of hardware in the trim and auxiliary category, but many other items as well. It's not just latch protectors and reinforcing plates, but it's hinges and pivots and ladder poles, accessory hardware, signage, flat goods, push and pull hardware. Take a look at their catalog. Any questions on the TLP 110 and a 630 finish, or any other Don Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.